Now, this afternoon, Cindy Geronimo is with us. She's the Commissioner of Utilities Administration, and Cindy's almost been 10 years since the crisis, but we know that there are still people skeptical about the water. How does your department work on building the trust of people in Toledo?
So, we put a lot of effort into making sure we outreach into the community, and that we also created a consumer protection and water quality task force in conjunction with the administration and city council. And with that, we worked with organizations, we worked with citizens to just get their feedback and what they needed us to do and what they needed us to know. And so with them, in conjunction with them, we hired a water affordability consultant to talk about those aspects of it, and that report is available on our website. They made some recommendations on making sure that water was affordable as we made changes as far as like improvements to both the plants, also the rising costs of chemicals and things like that are needed to treat the water. How do you make sure that you're doing what you need to do to keep the water safe, but you're also making water affordable?
Well, it's not just the water, but the infrastructure for all major cities in the country are that way. Even small towns. Stuff was built, maybe WPA projects in the 30s, and now we're 2024 and things are starting to crack and break down a little bit. They need replaced, and it's not cheap. And this is 2024 dollars and not 1935 WPA dollars.
You're absolutely right. I mean, there are cities across the nation are dealing with these same type of issues that, when you don't see something, you may be able to put it off. I mean, our billing system is over 20 years old. So, our metering system is antiquated. So we're in the process now of replacing all the meters, implementing a new billing system. We're rolling out a customer portal at the end of the year, which gives people a lot more tools and resources to be able to get answers as far as their consumption, their water consumption, ways that they can conserve water, or kind of control what that price of their monthly bill would be.
What's the most common complaint your office gets?
It used to be that, it was bad bills, but I think now we've deployed a lot of our meters. At the end of the year, we will have deployed 116,000 meters, and we've got a significant amount of them in.
That can't be cheap to do that. I mean,
it's expensive.
It's man hours.
Exactly.
It's the product, but in the long run, it's going to be a better fit for Toledo?
In the long run, it is a better fit for Toledo because, like I said, it opens up channels of communication for us. It makes sure that we're getting those accurate reads, that people are getting an accurate bill. People don't want to call and have to complain, but the more you can give them that, helps them understand that it's not, and also it's not just the water. It's, we deal with the wastewater and stormwater. We're providing these services that are important to our community.
I'm a big proponent of public water, I know, because it has, the right chemicals in to make it clean. And I tend not to want to drink bottled water, but some people are just crazy about wanting bottled water over tap water. But bottled water, you don't know where that came from.
And also, the testing for the two are completely different. So
Sure.
Bottled water is tested under the FDA, and we're tested under the EPA. The EPA actually requires us to do regular samplings throughout the year, and we provide a consumer confidence report that's available July 1st of every year. So our new one for 2023 should be out this July. And the one for 2022 is online right now. You can get it in printed format or digital copy of it, and it tells you all of the different samplings that have to be done and what the outcomes of those were. We're trying to be just really transparent and make sure people can feel confident that the water is safe for them.
Sure.
to drink.
Of course, in the news all the time, algal blooms, and the green water. But yet, when the water is brought in, it's treated, it's cleaned up. I mean, you have wastewater treatment plants that clean up water. That's what they do. That's what their function is, and that's the water in your tap.
Absolutely. So our water treatment plant, we've made a significant investment there.
Sure.
And so that whole plant is upgraded and new. And so we are just doing the latest, the most innovative procedures to make sure that, we're providing safe water. And then our wastewater treatment plant is getting ready to be upgraded. So significant changes since, 10 years ago.
Yeah. And I think most people would appreciate what you've done, that the water is safe, and you're doing it much more user-friendly than it was before.
Absolutely. And like I said, the biggest thing is to be transparent with people and just make sure that they have confidence in us, that we're doing what our mission is to make sure we provide safe, high quality, safe, reliable
Cindy,
water.
thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.